This is Dent Digest, the podcast dedicated to all things painless dent repair. From the latest techniques to cutting-edge tools, we dive into engaging discussions with renowned dent repair experts. Buckle up for industry success stories, tool reviews, and valuable insights from individuals who have mastered the art of eliminating dents without a trace. And now here's your hosts, dent repair gurus Ryan Shutt and Alex Kukulis.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest live show. What's up, Alex?
What's up, Ryan?
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
It's pretty hot in Arizona.
It's hot here too, you know.
Well, I'm not
It's
used
hot.
to it though, because like this year we've actually had a monsoon season, so it's been like way more humid than it usually is. So
Well, welcome to the East Coast, my friend. 100%
Right.
humidity over here. You know, it's 108 with 100% humidity. So
yeah.
you're sweating before you get out of your truck.
Oh man.
So how's business?
Business is good. It's a little
Yeah.
slower right now. Like everyone I've talked
It's
to is
weird.
slower.
Even like my body shops are like, I don't understand what's going on. It's just so
Yeah, for
different.
sure.
And I was like, it's weird times, dude. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's election year. There's a lot going on. You know,
Yeah.
it's weird times. There's two things I do have to touch base with. I might as well get them over with. Everybody, thoughts and prayers for Drew from Drew's Tools.
Mhm.
They were in their van and got hit with a tornado. So he's in the hospital. He's doing okay. So, but everybody, you know how it is when you're on the hail trail. You always take that
wild.
chance when you're in the line of fire. So, other thing is Dominic and the boys from PDR Canada. Thanks for the gear. Sent me a box full of cool stuff. So super
Nice.
cool. I love watching those guys, man.
Yeah, they're cool.
And it's just good people. Like at MT, we talk for a long time, dude. Like
Yeah.
just real. They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know.
They do a lot of training, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they do a lot of
In
training.
Canada.
A lot of training. Their shop's always busy. So, and it's fun to watch the family dynamic in their group. So
Mhm.
we're going to get them back on here because they want to, come back on as a family and do some more talking. So that was a really good
Nice.
show. We had a lot of views on that. So I
Yeah.
want to get them back on. But no, man, it's businesses. I mean, we're busy. We are busy. I got some Hail Cars USA stuff that, man, I'll tell you. USA has been the absolute worst company to deal with.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
That's my insurance company, and like they
Let me tell you,
never fight with me at all. Like they always pay up.
it's not even about that. It's what the problem these days is. They have all these independent appraisers,
Yeah.
and nobody answers the phone. You have to send them 800 copies of, like I one of them, it was Solution Works. They wouldn't take the Mobile Tech RX paperwork
Really?
because it needed to be direct PDF and not a download PDF. And I'm like, what the hell, man? But like, let's just fix the damn car.
I think that was
So.
just them stalling, basically.
100%. So it's been challenging with that. We got some really, really bad hail cars from Nebraska. They were
Yeah.
military, and we totaled one of them. The other two, I mean, they're destroyed. So, but did a cool car today. I got a call for the Port of Baltimore for a McLaren, and they were like super hot on getting it fixed. So I was like, okay, I can get out there. I said, look, there's two things about me. I ain't fast and I'm not cheap. I told him right off the bat, I'm not dropping everything coming. So we go out there today and I get it and pull in and I'm like, okay. And there's 5 guys standing over it. And they're like,
watching you.
Yeah. The dent guy that handles that account's been there like 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Mike said he couldn't fix it because of this. And I was like, okay, that's a valid point, right? That's a valid point. he's been doing it for 30 years. I'm 25, It's a valid
Yeah.
point. Stick my arm in there, door panel's off. It's difficult because the vertical door and you're trying to get up and over. And I'm looking at it, and the seats have embroidered JB on there with like a signature. And I'm like, that's cool. It's a cool touch. It was all, stitched with the right colors, blue and orange and white. And I was like, that's cool. And I look at the guys and I'm like, can we take this panel on the underside of the door off? And they're like, there's no access there. There's no access. And I was like, well, there's screws and there's clips here. And they're like, there's no access. Mike says there's no access. I was like, okay, how about this? If I break these clips, do you have them here to replace? They're like, yeah, no problem. So I pop this clip out and they're like looking at me and I stick a tool in there and I'm all over it. And they're like, oh, aren't you going to booger that hole all up trying to stick a tool in like that? And I was like, reaching my thing and I grabbed a stucky hole straightener and I was like, yeah, but I can fix it. You got touch up? He's like, not this color. I'm like, we're going to be fine.
Man.
Fix the car. And the guy comes over and he goes, I'm like, just finishing. I'm out there with a piece of toll cut because there's no peel in this car. I mean, it is flat as shit. It's aluminum. And I'm out there sanding. The guy comes over. He goes, hey, be careful. I'm like, why is that? He's like, this is Justin Bieber's new car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a McLaren. I don't remember what model. I've never seen it.
Wow. Probably a one-of-one color.
Yeah, that's what it was. He spent $130,000 extra markup for just that color because they don't have it. So it was cool. It was a cool opportunity for me to get in there.
Yeah.
It was
What tool did you use to get to it?
The Dentcraft black hook tool, like the little standard hook set. It was the only thing I could get through that hole and get it. Yeah. I first stuck the one of the rat rods in there because the problem with the door is it came down and then bumped way out at the bottom because the car was really wide. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to get it. The other problem is it's a vertical door. So you're having to hold the door down and push the dent so you could really see, Yeah. And I couldn't close the door because I couldn't get to that hole and it was unplugged. So if I closed the door, there was no way to open it. Yeah. So it was a cool thing.
I use that Dentcraft tool like every day.
100%.
I just bought their new version with the ratchet handle. You push it in and it ratchets.
Is it a whole set?
It's not a whole set. They only have like a couple that are ratchets. I think the one I got was like 12 inches with a ratchet handle. But I use it for like taking the trim off the all RAV4s in the quarter panel and I go up in there. It works really good.
We've been on another run of matte paints, man. Jesus. Why?
Huh?
Why? I hate fixing matte paints, man.
Yeah.
That's
no fun.
But you learn, what tools to use, how much heat to use. Because if you hit it and it's got too much heat, it's blowing the paint off of it. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's brittle, a little more brittle than regular. I'm trying to think of what else we did this week that was cool. Just dents, man. That's all we've done is just dents.
That's all I've done.
You get any new tools?
I got that Stucky light, dude.
Oh yeah,
the carbon Stucky light. Yeah, it is. It's awesome. I'm loving that thing.
I got me a little Anson order today with the perfect pull glue and some centipede tabs for Josh and some little tips and stuff that we needed. I did break a trifecta glue gun. Just trying to pump too much on I'll have like 5 glue guns, 6 glue guns running and a plugged in Cam Auto glue gun. Yeah. And when we're doing lateral tension, I'm just pumping every gun. There's like all these different colors of glue.
I've broken like 4 or 5 of those glue guns.
Well, they sell the parts for them now.
What do you mean?
So like the trifecta glue gun, if you break the handle, it's breaking the lever on the inside.
You can buy the handle.
That little lever you can buy.
Oh, okay.
So
I always break the battery adapter. If it falls, it breaks like every time.
Well, my shit doesn't fall. I take care of my stuff. You're like Josh.
Yeah, I break
Josh is brutal with tools.
I found like a year ago, I found the Amazon glue gun. I forgot what the name is, but it's $30. It's just as good.
It is
It
not
is.
just as good.
It
You're
is.
out of your
Do you have it?
blessed mind.
I'm
No,
gonna
but it's
send you one.
not.
It is.
The
It is.
trifecta
It's
glue
just
gun
as
is the
good.
best glue gun I've ever used.
Dude,
Unless you use
I'm
a
gonna,
plug-in. Like I have a Kiko plug-in and I have a Cam Auto plug-in.
I'm gonna send
Nothing
you
can
that
touch
glue
either
gun.
one of them.
$30,
Nothing.
bro.
Come on, dude. You are a typical cheap ass dent guy.
Hey, bro. It
Come
works.
on, dude. Spend the money, make the money. Jesus.
I have 2 trifectas.
I'm disappointed in you. I need to get Manny back on the show. I'm disappointed with Alex
Hey,
buying the cheap glue guns.
Manny would be agreeing with me. You know,
No, Manny would say that is the biggest piece of shit glue gun he's ever used, even though he uses pink glue that doesn't work anyway.
And it would be, yeah. The only different glue gun would be like a collision glue gun with a long pole.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I have the trifecta collision glue gun, the orange. The best are the plug-in, the Cam Auto, and the Kiko glue guns are the best, dude. They just pump and pump glue, and it's hot. You better watch out because it's taking all your skin off.
I don't have it. Like when I'm doing the big feet or ratchet straps, I'm always using like 2 glue guns.
Gotta run them all, man. Burn them up. Just don't get them on your fingers because you're gonna be crying. But I'll tell you, that perfect pull glue has been my favorite, even on everyday repairs.
Yep, that's all I use.
The different time that you let it sit. So like if you want to, usually like if it's green glue, like you use cactus green and you could wet pull it. The perfect pull I can let sit longer because I feel like it's more elastic. You know what I mean? It's stretchier. But it's been working really well. It's a scary glue. It's just different.
Yeah, I used to before that. I used the Cam Auto like for everything as well.
Yeah.
Then I tried that collision glue, and that was only good for like,
his stuff was. He's crazy as hell, but some of his stuff was the baddest glue I've ever used. If you want to
his stuff was
pull
good.
the skin off of a shell, that's the glue to use because but can't get it.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody's tried to figure this out and make that glue again.
I don't. Yeah.
So, but anyway, let's get our guest on. We got a bunch to talk about. I was trying to figure out when he was coming to the East Coast, and he's like, "Yeah, you East Coasters don't buy Kiko shit. You buy Cam Auto shit, so we're not coming." So I don't know if he can hear me in the back room, but
he can.
Oh shit! But let me get him on. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling.
What's
Chris
up,
is
Danny?
cussing me out right now.
What's up, guys? No, it's cool. Thanks.
Hey,
what's up,
I want
guys?
to apologize because the last time you were supposed to be on, I bitched out.
That's all right, man. I almost did tonight.
I didn't have my makeup and shit. I need to get
that was all Ryan.
That was all
no
me.
Worries.
100%.
No worries. You broke paint on a car and you had to send it to a body shop and you're all upset. I get it.
Hey, that's why we got touch up.
That's right.
So,
heck yeah.
Let's get into you a little bit before we get into the Kiko world. First time we met, we were at MTE and we were talking for a couple minutes, and then a local body guy, Keyshawn.
Yeah,
so we talked about him. Talked about him for a little while. You were obviously a body tech for a long time, correct?
Yeah. 22 years. Yeah, I have a shop back home. My brothers are running it. So far, things are still going smoothly for them. So yeah, I've been a panel beater, I guess you would say, in the UK for quite some time. Yeah.
So was that like a family business up there? Or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah, right outside Nashville. It's in Lebanon, probably like 10, 15 minutes from downtown Nashville. So
how did you get hooked up with Kiko?
Oh, honestly, I just bought the system because in the shop, we're still stud pulling. Chryslers were infamous for foam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of catching stuff on fire. I'm tired of pulling holes. So just honestly, in like 20 years before that, Worth came by the shop and they're like, "Hey, here's a glue kit. And they just dumped it off, and we're like, "How you use it?" And they're like, "Yeah, you just glue it to the panel." So I tried it, and it sucked.
Yes.
Could have been decent, if they had a process, maybe some better glues. I think that's a lot of it what hindered them. But yeah, and then I searched another alternative way to repair vehicles, and I found Kiko online, and I just bought the system. Yeah, the level 2 is what they called it back then, and started posting my work online. Chris reached out and been begging him for a job for like 5 years, and then he finally said, "All right, dude, hire you just to leave me alone." So here I am.
So did you move the whole family there, or?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, all 8 of us now, I think. Yeah, 8 of us. Yeah. Well, all included. Yeah, 8.
You have how many kids?
Yeah, so 5 biological and 1 we just adopted probably like, I don't know, a few months ago, probably like 5, 6 months ago, something like that. Time flies, so it's hard to keep track. Yeah, she's great too. She's perfect.
So do you have a school bus or what?
We need one. Our Honda Odyssey is tapped out. So we're looking. Yeah,
He'll be pulling a camper behind it soon. Jesus.
I know it. So we're looking in those NVs, and we're looking at some other stuff or transit van. My wife's easy. Like her Honda Odyssey van, I use it in trainings like 2 times already, and it's
poor van.
It's kicks. And she don't care, dude. She's like, I'll do. We kicked it all over the place. And,
that's funny.
Yeah, so she's easy.
So your position at Kiko is more on the training side or product development?
A little bit of everything. Yeah, you just got to be, flexible in areas here. It's not the Kiko body repair product side's not, like huge. Like there's not a lot of employees on that sect, if you will. There's probably like 5 of us, I think. But then there's like another 50, 60 at the manufacturing plant. So you got to be able to pivot in places. So it's really fun. It's fun, man. It's a good job.
So when you came in, you had to learn their processes, or who taught you? Was it GM?
I had to learn how to use a daggone computer, man. I was like, what the heck? Computer? You got to spell words? But no, it's been fun. Gene's helped me a lot in the beginning. Yeah. Just with like presenting and stuff like that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? I know how to do it, but you got to be able to articulate it. That's totally different than being able to do it and then, teach it, right? It's totally 2 different things, right? So he's helped me a lot with that in the beginning for sure. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. What do you see from when you started to now on where the glue pulling end is gone? So when you were doing glue pulling with that shitty Worth set to where you are now, what do you see? How do you feel it? Huh?
It's tremendous. But you got to buy in. You got to use it. You can't just use it once and then be like, I mean, it's a culture change, right? You got to be, hey, I want to learn this process. I want to learn the tabs, because all the tabs, they pull different. Right? You got to understand when to use which tab. Once you start to understand all that, dude, it's a no-brainer. Especially with lateral tension. We got these K-powers now. I don't go anywhere without them. I mean, it's really like unlocking repairability is what it did.
Yeah.
Right? I see you guys using it in wheel wells now.
Oh, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Dude.
That's pretty cool.
Game over with that thing. It's freaking awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's come a long way. And then understanding like knocking down and stuff. That's like another universal way.
Well,
right?
I feel like that body guys have an edge on dent guys, because like I have Mikey that works with me, and he's a 16-year auto body tech, and he's like, you don't see that crown? And I'm like, no. What do you think? He's like, it's right here. I'm like, I can't feel shit. It feels like cold metal. But I feel like you guys can understand a little more of metal movement than we do. We were like, I was never taught metal movement. We would get a big dent in the body line. It would have a big smile, and they tell you to beat the shit out of the smile and then push the dent out. And you'd have to clean all that up.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's totally different. You know what I mean? Because
it is.
We're learning how the metal's reacted and what it does.
I think what it is like we talk about a continuum, right? So like even when PDR guys come to me, I'm pretty decent with dents now, but in the beginning, I would just teach them to be more aggressive. They didn't know how to be aggressive. They were 100% all finesse. I'm like, dude, we're gripping. Just rough it out. Once you get it roughed out, then your finesse comes into play for the rest of the little bits and pieces. Right?
Yeah.
Body guys, I teach them just to kind of just dial it back a little bit. Now, it's totally different, business models, right? So, a lot of guys think that, all these body guys are going to learn PDR. No, they're not. They're going to learn to use GPR to make cleaner, better repairs so they can put less filler on it. But, dude, PDR is something that they got to be committed, right? It's not something like, I'm going to practice PDR this month and then next I'm going to be doing quarter panels. I mean, you got to be on it every single day if you want to learn it.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just practice for a day or a week, then come back a month later. You're starting back over every single time. So it's not like that at all.
There's a couple guys out there. I mean, even Josh, my guy Josh that works for me, I've been in it 25 some years. He's in it 7 years, and he's probably one of the best glue pullers I've ever seen in person. Just his finesse, his attempt, what tabs he's using, how long he's letting the glue sit. And a lot of that is because he had to adapt, because when he was trained, he didn't really understand whale tails. So everything in a brace, he was gluing. So if he pulled too hard, it would make a mess because it was in the brace. And I think that's a lot of stuff that we still have to learn, all of us. The GPR or PDR is your finesse end of it. Your how aggressive you're going to be with it, you're going to use.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's some badasses. I mean, Mike O'Grady, he's a badass glue puller. Charles is impressive. Some of the stuff he does. I don't know.
Be aggressive, really. Even though it goes against your nature as a finesse PDR tech, but sometimes just be aggressive.
Yeah.
Just be aggressive. Just get it roughed out, get it to where you need it to be. It's always going to look worse before it looks better. That's just the way it goes.
Of course.
So don't overthink it either. I mean, if there's a low spot and that low spot ain't moving, I got to knock down the crown. If that crown ain't moving, then I need to pull a low, right? So, I mean, and it's, we're going to learn by messing up too. That's when we learn the most.
And we're all learning lateral tension. The body guys have been using lateral tension for years.
There's a real sweet spot to it. There's a sweet spot to it. A lot of guys will just put the coals to it, and you're really kind of locking it up. It's not free. So there's a sweet spot for sure.
Ever worked a frame machine? They got an edge on that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's
Plenty of
learning.
those.
I mean, I'm still learning. We had a busted door. I put a picture. I was using the JVF tool.
Yeah.
And Mikey's like, we should have did this on the car. He's like, you would have had more room because it was at the very edge of the door. You had a very little bit of area that you were able to stretch. And, he's like, you could have used a little bit of that rear door and really made it work. But we're learning as we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
That's it.
What do you, when you're at Kiko, what is your main job mainly? So on your daily, what are you doing?
A lot of content sometimes when I'm here. If I'm not here and I'm traveling around, then I'm doing training, engineering meetings, talking about tools, how we can improve in certain areas and stuff like that. Sweep the floors, whatever I got to do, really. I mean, honestly, think about it. A little bit of everything.
Your lateral tension tool in the corner there, when you guys put it in wheel wells, do you guys have like special feet for the wheel well?
Yes. Yeah. So, on the K-bar, that fulcrum foot, we have an attachment where, here, let me get the junior. So that's going to screw into here. So you can put that up against the inner apron, if you will, a strong area. And then you're going to be able to put, we have another attachment that will go right here. And you can put your curved tab track adapter. And that'll lay right perfectly up on that inner quarter
frame
panel, if you will, or whatever. Yeah. And then you just push. And then we got some other attachments too that will go on this, that you can put a pivot tip on it, push something sharp. Maybe you're working on a fender. That's tons of uses. Just tons of uses with it. So I love this.
What is that one called? The small one?
That one is the K-Power Junior.
K-Power Junior.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, I don't travel anywhere without it.
How much is that?
That's I think it's $6.99
It's not bad.
or $7.99, something like that. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get that.
yeah. I mean, it's great. I love it,
That's
especially with the
awesome.
attachments. The attachments are great. Yeah, and there's some other. I mean, there's some other stuff in the works too. Yeah, so there's some good stuff, man. It's just progressing and growing and growing.
I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of new stuff at MTE this year.
Yeah, we'll have some new stuff for sure. Got to.
That's awesome.
Do you ever
It
feel
is a
like
write-off, Corey?
tools are coming out faster than they're tested?
Yes. So I mean, honestly, like this right here. Let me show you something. We've had this 2 years ago. 2 years ago, never launched it.
Wow.
Because we didn't. So sometimes I feel like we're slow, but at the same time, dude, you got to do a lot of damage control if you release something and it's not good. Yeah. Right. So for instance, like that little, what was it, 3/8 bar we had, that first one. So yeah, but in the beginning, we were afraid that people were going to put too much tension. So we were thinking on that aspect. We're like, well, the bow, it does bow, but we're afraid people are just going to put the coals to it and not really understand lateral tension. Yeah. Then we realized that people are going to do what they're going to do. So we went up to the 3/8. We went up to the 3/8, and still we're like, man, that bar's in the way. And then we had this we were working on for a couple of years, but it's just diving. Whenever you get something that's diving, it's frustrating. You're like, how can we improve that? So we made this K-Power, which is really close to the panel. Other attachments so you can push or pull to it. So like you've seen, maybe, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos where I had a hinge tab and I can pull this way with it as well. So you got to stay close to the panel. All right. So I mean that's the key to lateral tension. So, and we'll have some other stuff coming out too, if you will.
What's
nice?
What's your
some guys making tools are faster than the speed of light.
Yes, they are, but at the same time, you gotta do damage control when it doesn't work out. Yeah, so hey, I love that stuff we do as a company because I mean it's it's everybody on the toes, and it's a big pond. That's why we let everything out there. Like we're transparent about the process, the tab technology, everything.
Yeah, I'm not into making tools. I don't think I ever will be. But as a consumer, I kind of like it because it's like you have so many options. Just, I feel like there's a big competition right now with manufacturers.
Yeah, it's fun.
Or it's more competitive. It's more competitive. It's more competitive than it used to be.
Right. Yeah.
I think what really helped with some of the education was during the pandemic. Gene was doing, I think it was daily at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Those live repairs. That was so good.
Those were good. Yeah, they were. They were good. Yeah.
So you guys are doing in-house training now.
How's that
going?
Good. Been filling them up. I got another one, not next week, but the next week, the 12th to the 16th. Got some guys flying in for that as well. It's really good. I mean, it's repetition, It's getting the tools in their hands and let them seeing the results, you know what I mean, over and over again. I mean, it's like boot camp, to be honest with you. It's tough because I've been through a lot of trainings and stuff, and theory is good, but sometimes theory doesn't pan out in real life. So we got to get the tools in their hands and let them see it, because that's when they're going to see the results over and over again. You got to be confident with your knockdown. You got to be confident with the tabs you choose. You got to see the shapes of the highs that the tabs create. You got to do that over and over and over again. So I mean, they've been really good. I've been enjoying it. Yeah.
Is it mainly body techs coming to you, or just like anyone?
Body techs? Yeah, body techs. Yeah. Just to get it flatter to glaze. And in the future, we're going to teach, because man, there's a lot of technique even in sanding filler.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, there's a lot of technique, and a lot of guys are missing the boat using the wrong grits at the wrong time, using the heavyweight filler instead of a skin coat, and that all comes down to your metal preparation.
So or they're sanding with open fingers.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I mean, there's a lot of technique within that I think the industry needs. So I mean, we're going to open our horizon, if you will, and for more education as well when it comes to that.
That'll be really good.
Yeah.
What's your take on the tab technology from where we've come to where we are now?
It's coming a long way. It's coming a long way.
Yeah.
It really is.
Do you think it's material based, or do you think it's just
No, it's
technology and
design.
how the
It's
designs?
design. Yeah, it's design. And there's, you can nerd out on some of the properties that go into some of these tabs and stuff like that. And, a lot of times it's hard to control, the material usage. Cause, like the other day I seen a post on Facebook where, this dude had this dead center tab and he was frustrated, but if you seen the shaft, it was completely bent. So that,
Yeah.
I mean, that's telltale sign that you're pulling at an angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that it might break at the face. I mean, it could be, could bend, a different variant within that plastic. And, you got to keep track of that stuff and it keeps us sharp.
You'll get a couple. You'll get a
you
couple
get a
that have bubbles in the tab and it'll break right there. I mean,
yeah. And we stay on top of that. We see that stuff. We don't take it lightly. You know what I'm saying? When people might get frustrated at times, but at the end of the day, understanding which tab to use when, because a lot of times you can't really fault the tab. You might fault the tab choice, right? Like you chose a dead center when you probably should have used a more intermediate tab to get more of the meat up. It wasn't the time for that dead center and you pulled it too hard. So there's a lot of teaching within it, that, when to use which tab,
That's a class you need to have.
Yeah. And it really is. I've been working with these new intermediate tabs that we are coming out with for that very purpose. So you can see thin face, thicker shaft, and you'll be surprised at how well this even pulls the center.
Those
Now,
tabs
for
don't
instance,
work.
oh, dude. I'm
gonna have to buy those.
I've been using them all day today. I even used, what do we got here? We got a 21. It goes all the way down to 18. And I use this on something I would typically use a 10 millimeter dead center on. And you couldn't even see the surrounding crowns. Like I put it on there. I was just curious to see how it pulls. And sure enough, I mean, it pulled so nice. So just goes to show you like tab technology and not being too aggressive. Right, because you see a lot of guys with slide hammers, which is fine, but just don't go to town. Just kind of lightly bump. It don't take much, man.
Yeah.
Just if you glue pull a lot, it doesn't take much. That last little, well, it's still on there. Let me give it an extra bump. Dude, that sometimes is that's the curse that bites you in the end, right? Just take it off. I promise you.
Like before 2020, all dent guys were showing people to just grip and rip,
Dude,
like 1 pound. Boom.
We do not need any more videos of strength. Strength's there. Now we need technique. We need technique and proper tab placement. Now we need better understanding. We're not, we don't sell glues, so we know all the glues are good. I use all the glues. They're good. All the glues are good.
What is your personal take on that? On
the glues?
Yeah,
they're good. They're good as long as you follow a process and clean and flash and pull at the right time. Don't pull too soon. But once again, you could pull too soon because sometimes you need a wet pull. You know what I'm saying? So it comes back down to technique, right? And understanding.
Yeah. You guys have a new bare metal glue, don't you?
God, I'll get in trouble for saying this. And I won't get in trouble. As long as the metal is prepped right, they all pull bare metal.
They do?
They all pull bare metal. It's all about prep. This preparation's the key for everything.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of guys, if we're down to bare metal, I want to take a roll-off disc. I don't want to take any kind of like 60 grit or 80 grit grinding disc. All those scratches, the viscosity of that glue is so thick, it's not going to get down into those scratches. So what I want to do to that bare metal, roll-off disc, get the paint off, hit it with some 600, 800 grit, smoother the surface, stronger the pull. So it'll smooth just like clear coat.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there you go.
Then you'll get it.
Then you'll get it. Now, I'm not saying you can go down to Walmart or whatever and get those. These are industry-graded glues, right? So I don't want to give nobody the wrong idea. But I tell you right now, they're good. They're good glues, man. They're good glues.
And if you had to grab one, what would you grab right now?
Hey, that Perfect Pulse is a nice glue. I've used it. That's some good glue. I mean, I use the collision glue. Cam Auto glue. I use that glue. That's just what I just use all the time.
Mhm.
I like Cactus Green. Cactus Green's still a good glue. That Hall glue, that's a good glue. But honestly, I mean, and you can nerd out on temps, right? So if you're working in a
Yeah.
super hot climate, you're going to need a more rigid, fast setting glue like a tab weld or even Hall glue, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. So that does come into play. We're mostly in controlled environments for the most part. So I mean, we
Yeah.
can control it.
For
But I
me
mean,
being
honestly, go ahead.
outside in Arizona, Cam Auto collision glue
Mm-hmm.
and Cold Perfect has been like worked year round for me. So
Yeah.
it's one of
Yeah.
those two.
Yeah. And John's glue's good, and just good glues. But I mean, honestly, it's about timing too.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
guys you could have like 10 different glues, and dude swears by that because he's hitting it at the right time. He knows his glue.
Yeah, you
Right?
get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to your glue, right? So,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong about that.
And there's even something that I learned at MTE. I don't remember if it was Mike or if it was Charles. Somebody, we were all talking glue, and we were talking about a torch. We were talking about a heat gun.
There's a debate that the torch actually adds humidity because it's a
Yes,
gas. I don't
yes.
It's
know.
not,
I mean,
that's not true. I use
I,
that's not true.
I mean,
I don't
I
know.
don't. I don't
feel
know
like I
either.
get better pulls with the heat gun than I do torch, and I was a torcher
Really?
for a long time.
The
The
torch
only thing I
is,
like about the
guys,
torch is I can watch the moisture kind
Yeah,
of
the
dissipate
humidity
and disappear.
dissipate. Mhm.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I get a better pull with the heat gun.
Really?
And my
I'll torch-
environment's controlled. It's cold as shit
Yeah.
in there. So
Outside
Yeah.
torch is the way you torch the tab, torch the panel. You're good. If it's
Hey, them
humid.
vortex coolers we got now, it's not like a new technology. Those things are lifesavers. Oh my gosh.
That'd be
if you
good
could
for
figure out a
Arizona.
way to make that so you didn't need an air compressor, you'd sell the shit out of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. If
like
we can
with
get
a
a battery
battery?
to, yeah, I don't know how. Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
I guess we're gonna have to wait for Milwaukee to figure that one out because their heat gun's not even that great.
No,
I've
either
tried
is
heat
DeWalt's.
guns.
It's
Yeah, it's not
Don't-
that great.
Back to the torch. The only downfall of a torch is like you could leave strips in it if you do it too much later on.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
yeah, you're burning the paint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
and I've seen that depending on, I guess, when the car's been painted, you can blush. You can blush the paint.
Yeah.
Right,
With a
I've seen that
torch.
with a torch, with those
Mhm.
nylon straps. If you're doing lateral, you just gotta be careful. Don't get it too hot because it'll blush.
Yeah.
So,
Don't torch a pearl white car.
Yeah, it'll blush on you. So
I call that s'mores and
Schmorzing.
like a
Morgan,
s'mores.
yeah, that's it. That's
Just
it.
going.
Yes, I've torn some shit up in my day. So,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
I think a lot of it is timing. How you guys came out
It
with your
is.
process
It's
of,
a process, man.
what was it? Your 6 C's or something?
Yeah. And once you become so familiar with the process, there's a strict line of yes, you got to do this, and then you can deviate once you get confident with it, right? Like there's
Mhm.
some dents I can look at, I don't even have to prep it because I know that it's a popper. Tab on there, boom, out.
Yeah.
Anything complex, I need a strong pull, I need a perfect pull. Yeah, I need to follow the process to get everything out of that tab, especially the smaller it gets. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, the process is very important.
You gotta make sure it's real clean.
Yeah, that's
Everything.
it. Clean
Do
the tab.
Do you buff a lot before you pull?
I like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, it's always a good practice. Not saying you have to, because if you do have ceramic coating, most of you can reapply it. Most of you guys do ceramic coating anyways. So
Yeah.
what's really fascinating about that ceramic coating is it's not that you're buffing off the ceramic, you're buffing off that layer of that last bit of wax you put on at the end. Is that what it is?
No, most of them you are buffing the ceramic off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because from what I hear, you can't even buff it off. So I don't know.
Some of it's hard. Some
Some
of
of
it's
the-
Hard.
That's the real ceramic. Some ceramic is just a joke. I'll take it off. If you rub real hard with 91% alcohol, you get
To
it.
take it off. Okay.
But that, like the real ceramic stuff,
it's hard.
is it's hard to you have to color sand it off. Basically.
Yeah.
Some of them you can torch too.
Yeah.
It'll
Okay.
burn it off.
That's the only thing you run into that really hinders your bowl. It's going to be
Yeah.
ceramic or some kind of wax. Yeah.
What on the tool, like the tab technology, what do you see in the pipeline? Like, what do you see? More division of tools, of tips, of tabs. So you have like dead centers, then you have more, like you were saying, a intermediate tab, and then you have a
Yes.
larger tab. Where do you see that going?
Well, for instance, we have these, and Chris has been working surprisingly. I mean, a lot of guys, Chris is very involved in the tab, R&D of it, designing and stuff like that. So we have these intermediates here. Even though you see that thick shaft that has a thin face, man, these are surprising. Like I was blown away by how well these pulled the center of a dent, right? He is working on a line of tabs that might go smaller. So I don't want to give too much, but those will probably be at NTE for sure. If they work, right? Because like I said before, I have these tabs here. I don't want to really show them because we're going to rework them. All right, we're going to rework them. But I mean, if they don't pull right, we're going to launch them,
How does that process work? When you have a prototype tab, do you have to get a mold? Do you have to do that whole process?
Yeah, it cost them a lot of money on that idea. But they're going to fix it, right? But that's how it works. Right? You have an idea, you got to invest in that idea. You got to, go for the factory, let the guys make it, let it run through the machines, then into our hands, and then we got to test it. And if it doesn't pull the way you want it to pull, it's a learning curve though, right? So we know how important the shaft, the spine, the pulling focus of these tabs are. So we just have to dial it back in again, right? And go back to the drawing board.
Now, do they charge them again for a new mold, or is it just kind of, hey, you get?
No, yeah.
It's a brand new mold if you make one change, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. But I mean,
you guys are outsourcing that, correct?
Yeah, we'll get them made and then we'll ship them here and then we'll run them. Yeah. So I mean, it's shipping costs, freight costs, and these molds ain't small. You know what I mean? So and sometimes you can get away with like inserts and stuff like that, which is still costly, but it's not as much as a full mold, right? So, but I mean, a lot of money, a lot of time. The engineers spending their time figuring it out, writing it up, drawing it up, and if it don't work, we're not just going to release them. We're just going to put it aside. Circle back.
Have you guys ever thought of getting into making your own molds, or is that like a big operation?
Oh yeah, I mean these molds are freaking solid aluminum blocks. They're huge, right? So yeah, need some massive machinery to be able to make those. Yeah,
big operation.
Yeah, that's big stuff. Yeah,
right.
So,
are you guys still doing shop trainings? Are you still going out to shops?
Tons. Yeah. Mike Mack, he's been on the road for a while. He's taking a huge load off of me. So he's been traveling. He's a single guy. Sometimes he gets burnt out and be like, dude, you're perfect. You're the perfect candidate. You're singing. You're single. Get out there. Get out there and train. Awesome. But he's enjoying it. But he's doing really good. But yeah, there's still a ton of in-shop trainings. Yeah, there's a lot.
That's good. Yeah, and I see it. For me, it's kind of funny. I sit back and I see that Kiko set over there full of dust and full of shit, and I'm like, 2 years, I'm gonna buy that kit for like
$400. They'll come back around. It's gonna come to a point they have no choice, right? It's where it's going. Yeah. I mean, even the OEMs see it. They're like, yeah, we don't want no more studs and wiggle wire on our cars. There's too many electronics in the vehicles, too many hazards and stuff like that you might run into. So I mean, they got to start glue polling. That's what I tell them. I mean,
now,
you can wait.
It's fun.
My only complaint with it, right? I've always been a supporter. Only complaint with it is now guys get this kit. They've got dead center tabs. Like, oh, I can fix that dent. Why are we gonna call Ryan?
Yeah.
Aluminum BMW, one of my shops. So then he's probably watching. Aluminum BMW door, sticks a tab on there, yanks it a bunch of times, and just absolutely fucks this thing up. I mean, it was destroyed. And he calls me. He's like, hey, I got this dent. And I'm like, okay. I come out, look at it. I was like, shaking my head. He comes, he's like, what? I'm like, do you glue pull it? No, I didn't glue pull it. And I see the painter's helper over there, and he's like, so I gave him a bill, it was $450. And he's like, $450. I'm like, don't ever try to fix a dent like that, dude. Like, you just don't get it. Or this is different than body work.
Yeah.
But we do get a lot of guys with those kits that try to fix stuff. And you're just like,
Yeah.
But man, if you got them sitting in the corner, let me know.
I'm buying it for $400.
No. Dude, that's how I got my first, the original hot box.
Mm-hmm.
When the hot box came out, I had 5 dealerships buy it, thinking they were going to get rid of my job. And it's one sat for a whole year. I was like, I'll give you $500 for that thing. It's like $2,000. He sold it to me.
Look at that. Mike knows what shop I'm talking about too. That's funny because Mike trained them. So, but yeah, man, it's it's tough, dude. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
How the industry is changing all the way throughout the board for body guys and for us too.
I think the body shop world's going to be in trouble in 10 years because not many young kids want to do that job.
No, they're not. That's one thing that we're kind of focused on right now.
Yeah, even PDR. It's going to be a issue with PDR too. Like, I tried to train my 24-year-old brother. He quit because it was too hot.
Yeah. Yeah, we got
to figure out a good living here.
It is great.
The hard part is, and this is my area. I see Matt Moore's done better than I have, and gone to like our local cat school, like a technical school, and I judge one of their like Maryland body shop competition, and I sat with a teacher, and I just said, hey, I would love to come and donate my time down here and create a program because I make a pretty good living, and she says, well, paintless dent repair is not a career. And I'm like, not a career. I make pretty good money then for a hobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I sat back, the teacher, the professor at this CAT school, at this technical school. And I said, that's kind of funny because you're going to be getting rid of that stud gun and you're going to be using glue, which is part of in the paintless dent repair family. So, but it's just crazy how some of the old school people just, I mean, you see it. I mean, Mike's seen it too. And training the old body guys are like, man, I could just weld 6 studs on there and be done in half the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I watched a painter on the lot stud a Dodge Chrysler van in the quarter panel, and the AC units in the back, and it caught the quarter panel on fire. I was just like, that was the craziest thing I've seen. It should have used glue.
Dude, I would love to do a comparison with the guy with the stud puller and glue now, because he's forgetting about all the work he does on the back end to clean up his mess that he created.
Yeah.
Right? Some guys might say, I don't even worry about putting cavity wax or E-coat on the backside. Well, then guess what? That's not a proper repair. But even when they get to filler work, because with the clear coat, with that light, I can catch those highs up front, because that's what gets you when you get to your filler work. It's not the lows. We can fill a low. It's the highs that get us into multiple coats of filler. So being able to catch them up front just saves you so much time on the back end.
Yeah.
What are you guys using for
like the high end shops are the ones that will benefit from using glue.
Yeah. I mean, I go into some small, tiny shops that they love it. They eat it up.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but they put out a high end product.
Yeah, they put out.
There's a lot of shops that cut corners like crazy.
Yeah.
In Arizona there is.
I mean, that's everywhere. You don't run into
There's hackers and shackers, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, you watch your language.
That's a good one.
Oh,
I had to do good work. I had to do good work because
you're right. You were set up for failure from go.
I had to. So.
No wonder you're working for Kiko.
Jeez.
Oh, gosh.
Chris was like, I gotta hire this hacker. Great. We're like, are you talking about web hacking or what? What are we doing over here?
Yeah, that's it. So
where is your next thing? You know, is your next place you guys are doing MTE? Are you doing any other events?
So there's going to be one in China. Yep, they're
Fun
going to
times.
J Mall, and I think Greg from the Australia is going to be there, and then I'll be at Automechanica in Germany coming up here soon.
Okay.
Then there'll be SEMA, and
Are you guys
then
going to
MTV.
Vegas?
Yeah, I'll be at the PDR Expo. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the PRX.
You going?
I think I'm gonna go for a day.
All right, cool.
No guarantee.
Awesome.
No guarantee.
you'll
I'm
be
going
there.
on an antelope hunt in Montana this
Yeah.
month, so
All right.
I might not go.
Money, 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 money.
Well, it's
That's all I
hunting
hear.
or Vegas, you know.
Yeah,
Priorities.
that's right.
I've been trying to get him out here to go fishing with me, but he's like, "Oh, I gotta."
That's gonna happen. Danny said he's gonna go with us.
You coming fishing?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go. You set it up. Let's do it.
Tuna fishing, dude.
Let's do it.
Hope you enjoy deep offshore.
Let's go.
Buckle up.
Cause Sean, he'll go too.
He will.
He loves.
I don't know if
fishing,
he may not be down with that far out though.
he'll go.
We were talking
We can
about
talk him into it.
and it's funny because I've known him when he started. I knew his dad
Yeah.
and his mom. His whole family's in that
That's
business.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
I've known them a
Wow.
long time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Danny, I appreciate
Yeah.
you coming on, dude.
Yeah, man. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
It's
It was
good,
good
show.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm excited for
Um,
all the new stuff coming out.
Yep. I'll get you some of them intermediates to try.
I need that new
Intermediate.
hammer coming out.
Yeah, dude. Shoo.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it.
Is it made out?
I
Is it
love it.
brass up top?
So there's you can get the carbon fiber with the stainless steel, which is a little bit more weight,
Uh-huh.
or you can get the aluminum. You can get it with carbon fiber too. Right now it has the composite on it, but the aluminum, it's nice and light, dude.
Mhm.
Interchangeable tips, so you can screw these tips off.
That's
Right.
awesome.
So nice. Different
I'm gonna get
lengths.
both of them.
We have longer lengths as well. So
Do you
Yeah,
have
what I
one
have
that
been
will
using-
be adjustable?
no, he ain't got
No.
that fancy yet. I mean, that's
I feel like the adjustable ones break though.
they'll-
Like
yeah, it's gonna wear
I
out.
feel like
over
they
time.
break.
Too
You
much.
know?
It's gonna wear out. Now, before we leave, check out these new. They're pushing tips, but dude, they're amazing for knocking down. So look right here. You got your regular pushing tip that we all see that go on our interchangeable rods, right?
Is that like the ultra one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Okay.
We have our own now. But these caps pop on, and there's 4 different sizes. So listen, I don't know if you can hear it.
You're muted.
I mean, if his microphone didn't turn
You're
off, I
muted.
guess his earpods died. I love live videos.
You're muted.
Got it.
There you go.
There it
Yeah.
is. So these right here are amazing for not only pushing but knocking down.
How thick is
gonna have
that?
to get
Is that
those.
material?
It's thick, and it locks on. Like, listen, hear that pop?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So this is I don't know the diameter sizes, but it's pretty thick. So you can
You
push.
can buy those right now?
They're going live, I think, next week.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's going to be 4 different sizes. It even goes up to this really big. I think that was the biggest one. So I mean, just
When-
different sizes.
When you guys use them for pushing, they won't come off if you like side loading.
Yeah, no, because it locks on to these
That's-
tips, and you'll get that
that's
in
awesome.
the kit too.
Yeah. You know the red ones?
Yeah,
When they first came out, I never had an issue with them, but now like the new ones I buy, the new packs they come off with side loading and it's
Hey.
weird.
here's another thing. So here's like the pivot tip, so it pivots on this hammer. Really nice.
What?
Yeah, dude, it's dope, man.
Dude.
So like for rails and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
these on this hammer.
Dang.
Money, dude. It's money. Can't wait till y'all try it. Like, I get excited sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's good stuff. But when it's freaking good stuff, dude, trust me.
You know
I'm
what's
gonna get
worked
those.
really, really well, and I got it from MT is the longer knockdown with that rectangle tip that you can move it around, and just getting so far away from the panel with it.
Mm-hmm. I love that thing because you could use them as extensions too.
Yeah.
You know, but you sold that to me at MTE.
Yeah.
Even that rectangle tip with the pivot tip end on it works really well, man.
Great. So much knockdown stuff. And, you know, sometimes it's my fault. I might do a banged up job by not really talking about it as much as I do on socials and stuff. There's some really good stuff we have right now. Really good.
That soft tip's going to be that's the new one to get.
That's good, dude. That's the new one. Hopefully next week they'll have them live online and stuff like that. But yeah, really good stuff coming. For sure.
Well, Danny, I guess I will see you at MTE.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll probably see you in Vegas.
I ain't coming to Vegas.
Stay late. We'll meet you on Friday.
Not coming. Danny, you have a fantastic night. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
Sorry again for canceling last minute on your last appointment. My fault.
No worries.
So,
Ryan needs to do better.
I need to do better.
Unreal.
I suck.
No worries.
Thanks for coming on, Danny.
Glad to be on here, guys. So
have a great night.
All right, man. Stay blessed.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Good dude. Really good dude. Fun, you know, knowledgeable and keeps it light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always have pretty good stuff. One question.
Danny's one of my favorite dudes in the industry for sure.
Charge for regular quarter on the body line since I'm just started.
This guy's in Arizona, I guess.
Steven, you should get with Alex because a lot of it is market driven. You know, it really depends. Is it wholesale? Is it retail? Is it insurance? Is it a customer pay? And then my prices are different than Alex's prices. So, you know, biggest thing is where your location is. What kind of vehicle is it?
He really needs in-person training.
100%.
You know? And then you're going to do a lot of free work. You know, at a buy here, pay here lot.
Yeah.
You're not going to make, I mean, my first year doing this, I think I made like $27,000 full time.
Yeah.
So it's a long process.
Biggest thing is training. And I say this all the time. My buddy James Brown went to a really shitty training and practiced for a year and then came with me and I was trying to help him through it. And the worst thing is practicing the wrong techniques for when you build bad, what is it called? Bad habits. You get frustrated. Just get really good training from go and work off of that. The biggest thing with dents is if you're not all in, you're never going to make it.
Yep. 100%.
You need to be all in.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm not going to start training, Jeff. It's too much. Too much.
Shit. But you guys have a fantastic night. We are not having a show next week, but we will the week after.
Nice.
I think it's going to be a good one if we can get them to come on.
I think we'll get them.
So, you guys be safe. Take care, Alex. Keep it real.
You too, buddy.
And we will chat.
See you guys.
See you guys later. Have a great night.
Thanks for listening to Dent Digest. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more information or to connect with your hosts, find them on social media at RPS Dent Specialist and at Arizona Paintless Dent Repair. If you found value in today's episode, please share with others. And until next time, this has been the Dent Digest Podcast.